We're now joined by Conan Emmons over at Menard High School. And hey, the Yellowjackets had a good season last year. You guys are coming off not only with, 5 victories, I believe, but the ability to look at that lineup now and see so many starters coming back, by 17 or so, that's got to make you feel good.
It does. We feel good about it. 2 years ago, we started 8 freshmen. They played as sophomores last year, and we won 5 ball games. And now they're juniors, and that's the core of our team, and they're a pretty talented group of young men.
That is a nice thing to have when you got a core of players that kind of play together. They kind of have that one heartbeat. They all know each other. That's got to help.
It does. It does. And these guys, they're spending out at each other's houses and play together, and so it's a good group of guys to be around.
I know 6-2A Division II is a new district, but a lot of familiar teams with the Winters Blizzards and, of course, Roby, Bront, Miles, and Roscoe. Give me your thoughts about this district. Do you feel like it prepares you for the postseason?
I do. I think it's a real even district as far as now numbers. We don't have those 150s in there like we did the last few years. And as far as talent level and whatever, I think it's going to be a real competitive district. So when you're competing every week, it's definitely getting you ready for playoffs if you make it.
Speaking of, who do you start the season off with? What's your non-district schedule look like to kind of get you ready for a district?
We kind of go over to District 8 to play a lot of our non-district games. We play Bears, Cross Plains.
Right?
There's a possibility, yeah. So, but we start off with Cross Plains and then Baird, both out of District 8. So.
What do you think is going to be the key for your team? I mean, with that nucleus of players, are they loaded with skill position? Are they more linemen?
No, actually, we kind of got a lot of skill kids, and we're real thin on the line, but I think we've got a good enough line. We've got some good guys returning and some size up front. We just got to avoid the injury. And that's the big thing at our level is one injury to a lineman or something, and it could really hurt you. North
Texas football has always been kind of star-studded. There's always been a lot of good football. Just your thoughts about your region and what you guys typically have to do to kind of advance?
Our region's pretty tough. Once we get to the playoffs, we go out west and play Iran or El Dorado or some of those teams that are traditionally in the playoffs and deep every year. And so that first round is usually pretty tough for us. As a matter of fact, the last few times we've been knocked out in the first round. So, we got to get past that hurdle. That's a big hurdle.
What do you think it's going to take to get past that hurdle? What's the hump that you got to jump over, you think?
Well, we've been close a few times. It's going to take finishing games, and I think with these guys having some experience now, it's going to go a long ways towards getting that.
Tell me about your coaching staff. A lot of times we don't give the praise to the coordinators like we should. Tell me about maybe your offensive coordinator, your defense coordinator, some of your key coaches.
Some of our, being a small school, there's 4 coaches. We do it all, and so I'm the offensive coordinator as well as the head coach. I have a defensive coordinator new this year to Menard, but not new to coaching. James Ward, he's been around for a while. He usually runs a 3-5 defense, 3-4 defense, and we're going to run that this year. And he brings a lot of experience this year, but he's new to our system. So.
Very good. Conan Emmons, do appreciate it very much. Good luck to your team this season. We hope to see you in the postseason again. For the Padilla Poll, I'm Jeff Power. Be sure to check us out on psquaredsports.com.